Hello, hello, hello. We spoke to teachers, we spoke to designers, we spoke to game developers, and now we brought the heads of Luden themselves to talk about why do they exist and why do they work on educational games. Well, look. So this dude in the glasses, his name is Oleg, and he's the boss. He's the boss. And then we have Rita, and Rita is not the boss, but she's doing lots of cool things. Shall we start from you, Rita? What kind of cool things are we doing for Luden?
Recently joined Luden Company as a business developer. Actually, I used to be a programmer for 7 years. I've been making free-to-play tiles mobile. So for me, it was something new. And thanks to Alec, things, this came true to me. So I'm responsible for communication with Game for Change. Game for Change, basically, if you don't know, that is an organization who is supporting us on the American side. And basically, I'm responsible for connecting to Games for Change, plus to teachers. I search them on Twitter, on Facebook, like in places like Playful Learning Alliance. Talk to them to bring them also to our this awesome podcast to talk about their teaching experience and also playtest the game, our precious learning factory, so that students could enjoy it next year. I mean, like this year, September, at schools. That's my job.
Well, Lera, and who are you? And what are you doing on the stream?
Who are you?
It's the same thing as you do, just making fun of everything.
Well, I'm trying to be clever. I don't
You
usually
never
succeed,
succeed.
but I'm doing my best. But I mean, Alec, you look clever on the stream, and you're the boss. What is the vision? Why not?
Uh,
What is the vision for Luden as a company? I see that all the games that you're making, they look useful, like more on the educational side. So what is the vision? Why these kind of games are of the main focus for you?
all right. So, um, first of all, I don't feel really comfortable when you telling me like a boss because I'm just a lucky representative of the team of really, really smart and talented people, and I'm very lucky to be
Don't
here.
be shy.
Yeah. Uh,
Yeah,
yeah.
let's be honest.
Uh, and why are we focusing on educational video games? That's really simple question because we've started our company with a really simple idea that we can use video games as learning enabler. I mean that video games is a perfect tool to find field where you will be self-motivated to learn more because you just by this video game you were just sparked with curiosity to that particular field. So that's the answer. Video games are perfect tools for educators, parents, kids, for just adults who want to find new passion and new things to learn. And we are the people who just like to learn new things and play video games. This is the fourth episode of
Yes.
this weekly devlog, and we never heard your position about using video games as educational materials. And what I'm really nervous
Ooh.
about is all three episodes. Everyone is telling that video games and education is the best friends. It's so cool to use video games in education, and we, as a company who is working on this market for last uh, 7-8 years, we know that it's not the real answer to that question. A lot of people telling that they don't like an idea to mixing up education and video games. So, what is your position on that question?
I don't know. It's kind of very hard to think of for me, especially because, like, I don't, well, not especially, but just very hard because I cannot imagine, like, I never studied anything with a game. Like, never. I
Actually
never had
studied.
such. It's, well, I wasn't studying, like, with game
But you
something.
know
It
what? You
doesn't.
can invert Alex's question. Like, look at at the different angle. What actually video games have taught you? What kind of skills did you apply in life by playing video games? It's
Well,
like it's about education as well.
Yeah, but like I think in this case we're talking a bit in different angle, like a bit different education, like machine learning, how like saying, or like I don't know, whatever, biology or something like that. I mean, of course, like games are teaching you something. Like I don't know, you're playing some game and like you're somehow learning geography out of it, or like you're playing some game and you're becoming like more like I don't know, faster and stuff like that.
It also
But
sparkles the curiosity, like to learn about whatever, some history, like what did Vikings do, like what happened
Yeah.
in Rome, and the like. That's one thing.
yes, but the game I never played the game that's supposed to teach me something, like how it says like I'm
What
educational
about
game, and
Sims? It teaches
is
you
it
how to manage your life.
I was using cheat codes. I don't know how to manage my life. I know
Are
how to
you
use
are you using cheat codes in life as well?
No. That's why like it didn't work. I thought that like you type somewhere something and you get a big amount of money and you build a house. That's how I thought. And then you choose a perfect husband. No. It's all lies.
But still, games like Sims, they can teach you how to manage your money. Money is just a resource you earn and then you spend like on things you actually want to have in your life, like tasks. You
Mhm.
want to make a
No,
renovation.
you type Klapausus.
What?
You type the
Motherlord.
code. Klapausus. That's the code for mine in Sims.
Oh yeah,
Motherlord.
probably.
Klapausius,
I'm
is that a Lithuanian version of Sims or what?
Yeah, like
I
I've
know.
never heard about this.
That was code in my life.
Oh,
Well,
right.
maybe like
In my
Probably.
Sims
Sims.
1 or something, Sims 2,
Yeah,
I don't know, maybe.
obviously, I'm that old. But look, I mean, I treat games pretty much in the same way as books, right? Like they teach you something about life. They let you learn. They let you live somebody else's life, like in whatever post-apocalyptic reality, when you're a bunch of cats on Mars, and you just figure
Match free
out.
games. What kind of life do you live in match free game?
That was
A
Mm.
very boring one.
very colorful life.
I'm a square box. I have red color.
Well, yeah, like so games like books, some books are not educational also. Some you just like come read just to take a rest, like match 3 games.
Mhm.
I don't know, Daria Donso or something. I don't know. What can be better example of
On
this?
that topic, Alec, like when parents tell their kids to not play games because games are harmful, what do you tell to these parents? How do you explain that games are quite good for the kids, especially your
Mhm.
games?
So actually, we don't have dialogues like these because this conversation is just about forcing someone to do something they don't believe in. So we don't think that's a good idea. And our position in that, if you don't want, if you have any arguments about not using video games at your home or at your school, okay, it's just okay. Feel free to not use of them. But as you said, and I 100% agree with you. Real power of video games is inspiration, is sparking curiosity to learn something new. And if uh, if we imagine a future
Yeah, especially
when
match 3 games, they bring so much curiosity in your life.
no, not these kind of games. More complex one, like I don't know, Civilization or Learning Factory, Wild Tudor. Those games are the for very technical audience. So those people are really interested in finding something interesting to learn, something new. That's why technical education is so
Do you think
uh,
that kids are that complicated? Because I don't think so. I don't think that especially middle school kids, they don't care about like, oh yes, now
probably
I can.
probably, but maybe 1% of them, or maybe 10 people from them, they will be interested in
And I'm not sure that
new
they
things.
actually like that complicated games as far as well, maybe it's just my
Yeah, yeah,
thinking because I don't actually communicate with people
sure,
such age, but I think they like something colorful, simple, and where you
And
don't
when you
sure.
need
have
to
to
think
match
that
three
much.
things
Depends what you give
and get a
them.
burst.
Sure, sure. I remember our first lessons in school about programming in 1996, probably, and that was about basic programming and basic language. And probably one or two kids from from the whole school were interested in that. So that wasn't colorful, wasn't fun, and just that was very strange technical thing. But one or two kids from the school were really interested in that power of programming languages. So the same situation is, as I understand, is here, because if you find maybe 10 kids who will become self-motivated to learn more about technical things, about engineering process, about production lines, or machine learning, or microbiology, that will be
I don't
great.
think that like middle schoolers they actually know what it means. Like maybe few of them, just like very small percentage. But I think that you still can make them interested in this topic, even though they don't know what it means.
Mhm,
Like you can give some like very simple basic to kind of give them
mhm,
a path to that things. But I will come back. Okay, again,
mhm,
Rita is saying that like any game can be educational,
Of course,
and you're saying like we're making educational game. So what's
mhm.
the difference? Like why you're not making just simple game and say like, oh, it's pretty educational.
I have an answer to this question. Basically, if any game is educational, like you have to think a lot, you have to transfer somehow, convey the experience from playing a game to your real life. In case of
Hmm.
educational games, game designers, the studio who created the game, is doing it for you. They tell you explicitly, this is educational game. This is what you kind of can learn from it. And for humans, basically, it's kind of difficult to switch the brain to start, thinking because it's a lot of work. We tend
You.
to we tend to like avoid seeing new things. We have like pattern installed in our brain, and it's from like when we
Rita, you go
become
too
older.
depressive.
Okay, I will stop at this point. I will stop.
Mhm. That's actually, this question is really really important, because it's really often people asking, how why are you telling that video games are educational? What I'm learning playing that? But uh, actually the key is generalization, so you can't transfer your knowledge from the gameplay experience to real life experience, because you don't solve problems in the real world like you solving them in GTA games,
Why
luckily,
not?
luckily. Yeah. And
Very sad.
yeah, and that's why Oleg and me, we both telling our concept here that video games are perfect tool to inspire you to learn more about particular field, but transferring knowledge from the game is really hard, and it's really complicated thing, and probably you will never uh, you will never find the best format of passing exam in a game format. Probably it's much easier to prepare for exam with special materials for this particular exam, and not by the something else. Yeah, and since our educational system is full of examinations and tests and all that stuff, video games as a helper for students to succeed in educational system is not a key.
So it's just to make them interested in some topic, basically, as far as I understood
Yeah,
from your speech.
to enable learning for them, to enable self-motivated learning. And in future, of course, a lot of YouTubers, other cool guys, they will create a lot of educational materials, but the key is self-motivation for them. Even now you can find any numbers of, I don't know, videos, articles about any field, but if you don't motivated, if you don't feel yourself interested in that, it's just useless.
And I'm
Very
just
deep.
I'm just thinking that like we went from games to educational games to like since learning factory edu that sounds like the next step since like you're working with real teachers on it and do I understand it right like that's pretty much the next step in educational games where teachers make actual teachers plans and that's what you're also shipping if I understand correctly
Yeah,
like
that's right.
the whole source of that like the whole lessons
Hmm.
and I'm just thinking what kind of I mean how do you think the market can direct that like since you will be like or is it just a common thing and everybody does that and I'm just not aware.
Uh, that's not common thinking, and I hope market will react to this really positive, because it's, first of all, it's free video game, and secondly, we use all the power of teachers, because they are really, really experienced in telling new things to kids, and in telling them in the format of the best memorizing, best generalization ways. So that's why we're trying to use that superpower of the teachers and just compile everything in one product, like a game and a workbook for students and teacher guides for teachers. They can follow them just step by step. And after that, we will see who will be the most beneficial part of user base for that. Probably the game will be used at home with kids or parents. Probably it will be used in schools as after school lessons or at summer camps. We don't know yet, but we feel really positive about that.
That sounds innovative to me. And I'm thinking, so people, if you're watching that and feel like I want to be part of that, there is a newsletter where we actually talk about that. So that's on the Substack. If you want to talk to people like Oleg, like Rita, and other clever people, other
Like
teachers,
me?
other players, yeah, like Lara, maybe. There is a Discord community, Luden's Discord community. The link will be there, and please join, talk, ask, play the game, and innovate together with Luden. Yeah, try help me to hype it up.
Yeah.
And if you're
No, I
American
mean,
mid-school STEM teacher, please contact me. I would love to talk to you.
Okay, goodbye, everybody. Thank you very much. It was a
Bye.
pleasure to talk with you. Goodbye.
Hasta la vista.
that's it. No songs. Sing somebody. There is no Georgi, but like sing. Alec, can you sing? Rita,
I
can you
don't think
sing?
that's a good idea.
And I'm praying for rain. I'm praying for tidal waves. I want to see the ground airways. I want to watch it all go down. Come please flash it all away. I want to see it go right and down.
Georgi, you should be envious. Next time, capoeira.